Good afternoon, everybody. I'm hearing it's quite a nice sunny day where you guys are. Well, we've got some smiling faces for you again on our Caribbean Corner webinar this week, #Caribbean Dreaming. I would just like to introduce the panellists that we've got here today. We've got Calabash Cove with Conrad, who's actually live in location, living the dream. That's his hashtag today. Say, wait for us, Conrad. There we go. And then we've got Denise. Denise is from Sweetfield Manor. We've got Lauren. You've got a photograph of her, and she's from Serenity. So we're not going to see her at the moment. And then we've got Gemma, who I think you'll all know, from Bougainvillea and Sugar Bay in Barbados. So just to go through the little bits as normal, we've got the chat options if you want to write to us all, just swap to everybody. Questions and answers, we'll do that right at the very, very end. So pretty much over to you, if I can, Conrad, if you can tell us all about the Calabash Cove.
Thank you, Sarah. Now, good morning. Here it's still morning, and welcome to the Caribbean, of course. Well, Calabash Cove, I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with it. They're very small, so we're easy to miss. The resort has a lot of space, but only 26 rooms, mostly suites. Some of them freestanding units with their own private plunge pool and so on. My background, of course, over the last 30 years in the Caribbean was large all-inclusive resorts. So when we built Calabash Cove 11 years ago, I was really sort of fulfilling a dream. I always wanted to have a resort where I would want to go to either just a cup of coffee, a meal, or on vacation. And so we initially created a traditional type of resort. And even before we opened up, my friends in the travel trade that all knew me from what I had done before would ask, Conrad, can you also quote this all-inclusive? So what happened, even before we opened up, we decided to offer also an all-inclusive option. And so we now have a 26 suites boutique resort that does room with breakfast as well as all-inclusive. Now, the advantage is because we're creating meal and beverage services that we want to sell to people that haven't prepaid for them, it means that the guests that book all-inclusive get awesome meals as part of their all-inclusive price without any surcharges. And we are truly one of these places that doesn't try to find some kind of way so you don't see the Admiral Rodney in the bar or the daily lobster dish on the menu, because it's available to every guest, all-inclusive or not. In terms of the rooms, I'm not very good at dealing with disappointments from guests. And so we wanted to make sure, if we say ocean view, that every single room in the hotel is truly ocean view. So out of these 26 rooms, you can see the sunset and the ocean, the Caribbean, from every one of them. And you can see it without having to crane your neck or hang over the balcony. If we say ocean view, we mean ocean view. In many ways, I wanted to let the Caribbean into the resort. You will see that in the lobby when you arrive. You know you're in the Caribbean. And all the rooms had to be of a basic minimum standard. So we, in addition to the ocean view, and of course the private balcony or patio, we made all the rooms with king-size beds, with flat screen cable TV, with a bar, with double vanities, with a rain shower, with a jacuzzi that is large enough for 2 people, a real jacuzzi, and almost all the jacuzzis have actually ocean view. So in the rooms, there are 3 categories. There's the entry-level sunset ocean view junior suite. They would have a view just like this right behind me right now, because they're below me. If you know where I am, I'm sitting on the railing in the Windsong restaurant. And then there are 4 swim-up junior suites. These are rooms that are on the ground floor of the main building that lead directly into the pool. And you know, a lot of times resorts create swim-up rooms in order to create some kind of value. Sometimes they're somewhere in an area not so desirable. In our case, the rooms are smaller than the other units. They're not very large in size, but they have a huge patio, and they have the benefit that they go straight into the pool and that they also have ocean view, of course. And then our premium accommodations are water's edge cottages with pool. They're basically large one-bedroom suites. They have a separate living room, bedroom, the living room with a couch, with in some cases 2 couches, a proper bar, and then of course a very, very large patio that faces the Caribbean. Some of them are so close to the ocean that you can virtually spit into it. And the nice thing is there's nothing in front of it. There's no fence. There's not a highway like in Hawaii or a lot of activity in front of it. They're really very, very unique accommodations. As far as privacy, access to the ocean and so on is concerned. We have some guests that actually sleep on the balcony because the balcony has, or the patio has a day bed. And so some of our guests decide to sleep out there listening to the ocean. So that's to the accommodations. In terms of the restaurants, of course, one of the challenges is when you have a small resort, people always want to know, so Conrad, how many restaurants do you have? Now, naturally, with 26 suites, we have really only one main restaurant, Windsound Restaurant, where I am right now, with these spectacular views, where we serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then we have an area that's below me, over my shoulder there, the swimmer pool bar. There's a deck area there where we serve lunch with a slightly different menu. And then we, of course, have also room service. There's no surcharge for room service. And if you booked on the all-inclusive, you have the room service, of course, included from 7:30 in the morning until 9:30 at night. And because we have only 3 dining options for 26 rooms, we need to make the menu somewhat interesting. Otherwise, people will not want to go back to these places on a regular basis. So what we do, we have a regular set menu that changes every few months. We have a vegetarian menu, we have vegan choices, and then we have daily specials where we offer about 10, 12 dishes that are only available on that one day. Usually it's something that is fresh, that is available, that came in the day before or the morning, that we use them as daily specials to create some kind of interest. And it's not uncommon for guests that stay with us for a week or 2 that they almost always only eat the daily specials. With beverage services, it's the same thing. When we say all-inclusive, we really mean all-inclusive. We will offer you the first 24 wines. It's never less than 24 wines by the bottle from the wine list. They're a mix between wines from Europe, South America, the United States, and would include things like even Prosecco and so on. And they're available by the bottle. You can have them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And also, of course, for room service. So that's the food, the beverage, the accommodations. In terms of entertainment, we're a very quiet place. It's an all-inclusive hotel, but it's not the way people from the outset picture all-inclusive. We have live dinner music every night. We have different entertainment every evening, but it's at a level that you can still carry on in a conversation, that you don't have to stop when the band or the steel band plays because they're so loud and overbearing. And in terms of activities on the beach, we have paddle boards, kayaks, and of course, snorkeling gear. And because we're small, people can take, for example, their snorkeling gear for the whole week or 2 if they want to. Some keep it in their room. Some people rent a car and go to another beach or go out on an adventure, and they can take it with them. So they don't have to sign it in and out all the time. That's pretty much it. We're located in a secluded bay, about 5 minutes north of Castries and 5 minutes south of Rodney Bay Village. As you know, there are very few, if any, private beaches in the Caribbean, but because of the way we are located, it's the closest thing you can have to a private beach. It's sheltered on the land side with a little slope hill, and then in front of it, about 200-300 yards out, it's on the other side where the camera is pointing now. There is a reef, so it's very, very protected. Even during a storm, it is very rare that the waves hit the grass area behind the beach. So much to the hotel. We work with a lot of operators from the UK. We work with the going tour operators, and of course, we also work with a lot of travel agents that I know over the years that will work with us direct and approach us accordingly. I would like to talk a little bit about the elephant in the room, right? COVID-19. St. Lucia has not had a fatality. We've been very fortunate. Some people say because the health department did an amazing job, and they probably did. They did an amazing job in tracing. We had 19 cases overall, the last one about eight weeks ago, and the tracing was just fantastic. They would catch people at the airport when they came in and find out something was not quite right, take them aside, and so we were able to prevent extensive community spread. So the big question is now, when are we going to open up? Really and truly, nobody knows with 100%. We are officially saying we're opening up on the 1st of August, but I don't know that that is realistic. It is possible that that gets pushed back by another few weeks to September. As you know, the first British Airways flight from the UK is now, I believe, on the 25th of July. And some people say they can book it, some people say they can't. And so we're not sure 100% what the airlift will be. But what we can do on our side is to create everything that needs to be prepared for when we are opening up. So the resorts all have to get new licenses with new protocols. The protocols have to be established. You have to write them down. You have to show that you train all your people. And I have a feeling that our protocols in the islands are actually a lot more stringent and sometimes voluntarily more exact than they're probably in other parts of the world. So the hotels are working on all the cleaning procedures, all the PPEs, the personal protective equipment for team members as well as guests, of course, and also the very extensive sanitation protocols and the food and beverage serving protocols. So when the day comes that we have sustainable flights, and then that we're ready to welcome our guests in a confident, in a safe way. Safe for our people, for our employees, and the population that is obviously worried that the illness will come to the island again with increased traffic, and also safe for our visitors, that they are comfortable being here, that they can still have a quality vacation despite some of the measures that have to be taken. I know there's this thing about the COVID-19 test that everybody has to have right now prior to arrival. I understand there's a new protocol coming out. I can't say anything officially because we have not seen it official. And with some of the setbacks that other islands are experiencing right now and the US are experiencing, I don't know when exactly it's coming. But I believe everybody realizes we have to find other ways to make the island accessible. It may most likely mean that we'll have testing at the airport and so on, and people that are arriving here get tested at the airport if they're not able to get a test back home. But I don't want to speculate on that. For me, it's very important that we have everything in place that we can accommodate these guests in a safe and most enjoyable manner. I think this is it for me. I didn't check the time. I don't have a presentation. So the view and me is all you got.
Brilliant. Thank you very, very much, Conrad. That was brilliant, and certainly answered a lot of questions that I no doubt we would have had at the very, very end about the opening dates, etc. But we're all certainly there with you now. You know, that view, you've just really brought us into the destination. We felt like we was on the customer journey with you. So thank you, brilliant presentation. So now, Denise, if I can hand over to you, you've got to tell us all about Barbados.
Barbados, Sweetfield Manor in Barbados, one of the little treasures. Can everyone hear me okay? And the screen is up? Yes? Okay, good afternoon all again. I know I've seen, oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. You've muted yourself.
Sarah? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear you.
You're good now.
Can we move on to the next person? I have a little technical issue. Come back to me. There's a sound playing that I can't talk over.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. Lauren?
Yep, that's fine. I can just load mine up now. Sorry, 1 second. Let me just get it up.
No problem. We're going straight back to St. Lucia, and we're going to be going to the Serenity at Coconut Bay.
Okay, I'm just loading it now. Okay, it's just loading. Just let me know if you can see that okay.
Oh,
And
good.
hopefully you can hear me all okay as well.
Yeah.
Fabulous, good start. Okay, so hi everyone again, and again, thank you for taking the time to join us today. As mentioned, I'm going to be providing you with some information and key USPs on Serenity at Coconut Bay in St. Lucia. So Serenity, as it says on the screen there, is the island's newest 5-star couples only resort. And it really is the ultimate in luxury, and specifically designed for couples looking for kind of a perfect romantic getaway. So start with location. Location is always key. We are really conveniently located, only 5 minutes from the international airport. So you'll see the star there that just marks where we're located, right down on the south coast of the island. So the first USP straight off the back is we are really short transfer time from the airport. It means our guest holidays start earlier and they ultimately last longer. Although we are located down there, though, it still does mean it's really easily accessible for our guests to get out and see top attractions on the island, which we regularly encourage them to do so. So for those of you that aren't aware, just to give you an indication, halfway up on the image on the left-hand side, you'll see the markers for the pitons, the iconic St. Lucia pitons in Soufrière, and that's roughly about 45 minutes from the resort. So it's still really easily accessible to get out in a day trip, and see all that St. Lucia has to offer. Now, before I go into more of the presentation, I'm just going to play this very short video just to give you an insight into what Serenity is all about. Oh, no, I'm not. Sorry, I skipped past it. Sorry. Okay. So Serenity itself only opened its doors in autumn 2017, so we're still relatively new product on island. And one thing we're really proud of, within that time, we've managed to secure the #1 traveller ranked hotel in TripAdvisor slot for hotels in St. Lucia, which is an incredible achievement and something we're very proud of. Not only do we have a new hotel with plush luxury amenities, but we do have incredible staff who look after our guests incredibly, with that real warmth, St. Lucian hospitality and friendliness, which even in our short time of being open has kept guests coming back to us. So the resort itself consists of 36 plunge pool butler suites, and all of those suites have spacious indoor and outdoor living areas. So all of the suites open up onto your very own private deck and private plunge pool. So the image you'll see on the right-hand side there. This outdoor living area, just like the indoor, is a completely private space. So when we're talking about room inclusions or facilities, or just the general space of the room, we're talking about that indoor and outdoor space, which all is private for guests to utilise. Just the general setup of Serenity with the indoor and outdoor space and the room features really do make it, now more than ever, a perfect place for guests to come and holiday responsibly and practice safe social distancing as well. So each of the 36 suites are very unique in design, with plush furnishings. They'll have very luxury bedding. Where possible, when we were building the property, a lot of local materials were sourced. So all the bathrooms are sourced with St. Lucia river rock and granite, and all the beds and the furniture was handcrafted with St. Lucian mahogany as well. And all of the rooms have a range of top kind of level luxury facilities in them. All of the suites come with 24-hour butler service, nightly turn down, vacation planning assistance with the butler, so they'll be with the guests throughout their whole journey with them, planning tours and excursions, booking spa appointments, making dinner reservations. They have use of the outdoor facilities, so the hammock, private plunge pool, and an outdoor wet bar that's restocked throughout their stay as well. In addition to the facilities in the room, guests at Serenity have some real kind of top line luxury facilities and inclusions available throughout the resort. So we offer unlimited wine and premium brand spirits as standard in all of our bars. We have crafted cocktails and do mixology lessons where our guests can learn to make their favourite cocktails and then take those recipe cards home with them. We do poolside and waitside butler service and beach and cabanas to take our guests up to our beach area as well. We have one restaurant at Serenity which does offer unlimited gourmet dining. Now the Great House restaurant here is open for breakfast, lunch and dinner. And we use really high quality ingredients and a load of local produce to make a whole range of signature dishes, as well as chef specialities and favourites that we do throughout the week. So the restaurant itself is open for breakfast, lunch and dinner, with indoor and outdoor seating, as you can see from the images here. But in addition to this, there are many other ways in which our guests at Serenity can choose to dine. They can dine in their suite with 24-hour butler service and the 24-hour room service. All of the rooms come complete with a privacy box. So that means that our guests can use their mobile phone to ring through to the butler. They can order lunch and a bottle of champagne. And if the gate is locked on arrival, the butler will take that as the guests do not want to be disturbed and will place it in the privacy box for the guests to collect from the inside as well. And that's available 24 hours a day. In addition to that, we have poolside cabanas and a poolside more relaxed menu for guests if they just want to grab a little bite or a snack to eat as well. So although we have one restaurant, a combination of different locations, where to eat and different types of menus really add to the kind of different offerings. For someone staying 7 nights or more, they can have many different experiences, even though they're eating from that one restaurant as well. So in addition to the facilities and the communal pool over at Serenity, our guests do have access to a complete area of the beach, which is for Serenity only guests. Now, some of you may be aware, and I'll come onto it on the last slide, but our sister property, Coconut Bay Beach Resort and Spa, is beachfront, and Serenity itself is located just behind that. But it's really easily accessible for guests to get over to the Serenity part of our mile of beach, and the Serenity section of our beach has these beach cabanas which our couples can hire to use for the day. Now they can walk to the cabana, or alternatively they can be transferred up there in a golf buggy by the butler. Our butlers will prepare a hamper with snacks and drinks and take them up there for the day as well. They can take use of swimming in the ocean. We have hammocks dotted around in the ocean as well, and they've got a bar up there, so they can really be set up and go have that full beach and a real day experience up there. Again, bringing it back to the butler service, as I mentioned, all of our guests have a mobile phone when they check in, which gives them direct line of communication to the butler. So our guests have spent the day at the beach, they can ring through to the butler and say that they would like picking up in an hour, and on return in their suite they would like a bubble bath run and maybe some snacks in the room and a bottle of bubbly. I can't think of anything better. So that's the kind of level of service that we can set up for guests should they wish as well. So coming on to our wedding package, Serenity is all about romance, itself being a couples only property. We do get a lot of honeymooners, but equally we also get a fair amount of wedding business as well. Now, this package really does have the wow factor. I have always said, for as long as I've worked for Coconut Bay and Serenity, that my favourite thing to do in St Lucia, or my top tip and the best attraction, is to get out and see the pitons from the water. There are many ways to see them, and by road is just as magical, but for me, from the water is just incredible. Now, this wedding package will see the bride and groom, as you can see here, get married on a catamaran out in the water with the St Lucian pitons as the backdrop, which is pretty incredible. So if you've got any clients that are considering maybe a smaller group, we can only accommodate up to 8 guests on the catamaran, so it has to be kind of smaller wedding parties. But if anyone's considering St Lucia and possibly a different destination, or want something a little bit more different than the beautiful beach weddings backdrop, then this is for them. Now, just coming on before I'm finished, to mention about our current Grand Romance package offering. So this offer is available through all tour operators in the UK, so you'll easily be able to access it and pass it on to your clients. At the moment, in addition to our rolling EBB offers of discounts of up to 60% on 2021 travel, we also include our Grand Romance package, which is $1,000 worth of in-holiday inclusions on top of already that saving. And all your clients have to do is book to say a minimum of 7 nights. Now, that does seem fairly doable for a trip from the UK to St Lucia, but if they're thinking of pairing us with another island or another hotel in the north, if they can stretch it to those extra few nights at Serenity to make it that 7, then they will get that full $1,000 worth of in-holiday inclusions. They get an in-suite couples massage, a private island tour, a sunset catamaran cruise, as well as the beach cabana access and picnic as well. So some real quality inclusions, also encouraging our guests to get out and see the island as well. This offer is currently for bookings made up until the end of July, but it's very likely that it will be extended. So yeah, it's that great hook if you've got clients that are considering us and maybe another property. This is effectively money on things that they probably would be purchasing in resort or in destination anyway. And lastly, I just wanted to bring this map up here just to give people a better visual representation of where Serenity sits in line with our sister property, Coconut Bay. So on the top left-hand side there at the back, you'll see the small there's 5 blocks and then the pool right in the left-hand corner. So that is Serenity. So as we drive into the gates, the transfers come right round through to Serenity and guests are dropped off there. And then everything in the forefront of the image, the much 2 larger blocks of accommodation and the 4 pools you can see in the front there, and then along our mile of beach, is our sister property, Coconut Bay. Now, one thing to point out here, all of Serenity guests have full and unlimited access to all the facilities at the award-winning Coconut Bay. So over at Coconut Bay, we have 9 restaurants, 6 bars, a water park, daily activities, evening entertainment, and Serenity guests have unlimited access to use that as well. But the beauty of it and how Serenity and Coconut Bay is set up, if guests want that couples only luxury experience and choose not to venture over to Coconut Bay, they will not necessarily know it's there as well. But it's a 2-pronged approach should they wish to venture over and want to make use of some of those extra facilities as well. Otherwise, Serenity's further enough back that it is a standalone product, and you can be over in your own private plunge pool suite and would have no idea Coconut Bay was just across the road unless you ventured over. Does mean, just to tie in with talking about Coconut Bay slightly, it's a great option, both properties, for multi-generational travel. If you've got nan and granddad or auntie and uncle that have a little bit more to spend, want something more boutique and luxury, they can stay at Serenity. Mum, dad and kids can be at Coconut Bay. And the same with wedding groups as well. We have a lot of wedding groups that stay between our adult and our family wing at Coconut Bay, and then bride and groom and maybe some guests should they wish to stay at Serenity. So always remember the link, it's there if guests want to cross over to that as well. And that's it from me. Thank you again for taking the time on this very hot day to be inside on your laptops listening in. We really appreciate it. Our UK office contact details are along the bottom there. So if we can help with any further questions, if you or you've got colleagues that would like some further training, not only on Serenity, but also on Coconut Bay as well, we are here to help. We're all working at the moment, so please, by all means, reach out to us, and we look forward to hopefully welcoming your clients to Serenity at Coconut Bay very soon. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Lauren. That was amazing. And a little birdie told me that you've got a bit of an incentive on as well for Serenity.
Yes, we do. Sorry, it's not on a slide here. So our current incentive runs for bookings made currently up until the end of July. And there are an incentive of up to £500 per booking. So it ranges from a £300, £400 or £500 incentive for booking a minimum of a 7-night stay booking at Serenity. And all the bookings are logged on serenityrewards.co.uk, and it's for travel now all the way through to the end of next year as well. So there are some great incentives I went through on the slides that can help persuade your clients to book Serenity, and there's a couple of USPs that make us so unique and special. In addition to that, there's definitely something in it for you with our 3-room categories. So that's a 3, 4, or for our grand, which is the highest suite, it's a £500 cash incentive for booking a minimum of a 7-night stay.
Brilliant. Thank you, Lauren. What an amazing incentive, everybody. Minimum of £300 per booking if you book Serenity. So I'm sure you'll all be going off and looking what offers you can find. Anyway, thank you, Lauren. Gemma, we're going to move to you now. Denise is going to go at the end. You're on mute. Let me just unmute you. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, can you see the presentation?
Not yet, but your system was a little bit slow, so
it was. Apologies.
Have you pressed?
I would like to be. Yes, is it showing?
No, not yet. Gemma's hidden away in the deepest, darkest of Wales, so the internet's a little bit slow, so you'll have to just bear with us. Here we go.
Here we go. Is it up?
Yeah, it's you've started sharing. It's just going through the process now of showing us the pictures.
Yeah, unfortunately, I tried to rival Conrad with my backdrop, but yeah, mine's not real, unfortunately. Can you see the presentation now?
We can, yeah. You're ready to go.
Okay, brilliant. Hi, everybody, and thanks for joining. I'll try and whiz through my presentation quickly, and of course, feel free to ask me any questions at the end. I'm Gemma from Escape Marketing, and I represent several hotels in Barbados, 2 of which are Sugar Bay Barbados and Bougainvillea Barbados. Thought, first of all, I'd just share my contact information with you. There's my email address, and my website has it's really built for the use by trade. So you'll see a client zone on there with lots of information on each of the different properties. You can go on, go to Sugar Bay, Bougainvillea, or any of the other properties, and you can download things like fact sheets, property menus, spa menus, and there's open image galleries as well. If you do want to download it with clients, etc., feel free to do so. It's all there for you to use and abuse. So I just start with a few key updates for Barbados. Obviously, it's a really fast moving and fast changing situation we're in at the moment. And I'm sure all of you are doing your best to keep up to date with what's going on. As far as I'm aware, and as just before we came on this call, Barbados has had, they will start flying on July 18th, and it'll be 2 services a week. And Virgin, I believe August 2nd, it's either the 1st or the 2nd, and they've confirmed or committed to a minimum of 1 a week from now. Obviously, depending on what happens with our government situation with FCO advice, air bridges, etc., the airlines have said that they would increase demand based on services based on demand and obviously ability to be able to fly. So with that in mind, we've set an August 1st opening date for Bougainvillea, and we're also working on Sugar Bay. Bougainvillea is not all-inclusive, and all of the rooms have kitchen facilities, whereas Sugar Bay is an all-inclusive property. So COVID policies are a little bit more intense in terms of putting those together, but they're actively working on them. And we'll have documents available, which I should be distributing next week to tour operators with our key kind of COVID policies. Which we're doing internally, but also in line with the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association. And obviously the Ministry of Tourism in Barbados are working diligently on island-wide policies in terms of arrivals, etc., etc. So lots going on the island, but if please feel free to contact me if you need any further information. I'll do my best to give you any updates that I have. We've made a decision to roll over our current 2020 rates into next year, so we're not increasing those. We've got contracted offers that we would have had in place for 2020 with tour operators that we're also rolling over. And we've got some really strong tacticals specifically for autumn winter this year, because mainly the tour operators are pushing that in terms of Caribbean travel at the moment, and they're up to 40% off. So happy to share those with you, but all our tour operator partners, and we work with all the usual suspects, all the large tour operators, the consortiums, etc. So whoever you work for, you should be able to easily be able to book the properties. So with that in mind, just to recap on where we are in terms of location, Bougainvillea and Sugar Bay are both locally owned properties, and they are sister hotels. Bougainvillea has been around since the 1980s. Sugar Bay is now 5 years old, and they're both located on the south of the island. I'm not sure if you can see my mouse cursor, but we're literally 10 to 15 minutes from the airport on the south coast. Both of them are beachfront properties as well, and we are firmly really good quality 4-star properties. Within easy access of both of the hotels, and the hotels are about 7-8 minute drive from each other. Between them, we've got the famous St. Lawrence Gap area, you've got Oistins for the fish fry, you can access the South Coast Boardwalk from Sugar Bay, which is a lovely oceanside boardwalk spanning quite a bit of the south coast. Bridgetown's just a few minutes away from us, and we've got 2 golf courses on the south coast as well, so plenty of things available. And hey, I know we've got Barbados weather outside, but who wouldn't give to be on one of those beaches right now? A big selling point for Sugar Bay is we're on 150 metre stretch of beach with the ocean in front of the property, which you can see from this photograph is very calm. It's like a lagoon. You can see the breakers down the bottom of the screen there, so that really does offer a break of any waves that are coming in. So very safe to swim, great snorkeling waters, stand-up paddle boarding. The beach is also a protected hawksbill turtle nesting site. So if you're there during the nesting season, you actually should see some turtles being hatched. And with that in mind, and to protect our reef, we don't have any motorised water sports on property. It's only not non-motorised. I won't bore you with all the different room categories, but it's fairly straightforward. You've got lead-in signature rooms, which can accommodate couples, upgrade to oceanfront. Then we have family suites that can accommodate up to 6, and they come in 1 and 2 bedrooms. We've also got some single rates as well for our signature and oceanfront rooms. There's no single supplements, etc. Sugar Bay is very kind of boho chic in style, lots of pastel shades. Very pretty property, very pretty interior, chandeliers, etc. All of the rooms have a fully air conditioned, they have balconies, fridges, tea, coffee making facilities, etc. And the view from your balcony will determine the room category that you opt for. That's the kind of living area of the oceanfront family suite there. In addition to mini fridge, tea and coffee making facilities, we have white company amenities in all the bathrooms, beach bags. All of the bathrooms have showers. There are no baths, and that's the same for Bougainvillea as well. It is an all-inclusive property. I've just realised I'm missing the T from restaurants there. I hadn't had a run when I did that slide. There are 4 restaurants and 5 bars to choose from. Our key main restaurant is The Reef, which is a buffet restaurant, open all day long, no reservations required, right down by the beach. A pretty restaurant. Collins is a really kind of beachside, casual rum shack with very casual cuisine, great cocktails, etc. And we've got 2 specialty restaurants which are open for dinner only. Sizzle is our steakhouse, and the steak is absolutely fantastic. And then Umi is our Pan-Asian restaurant, which serves a mix of Thai and sushi. And Umi and Sizzle are open evenings only, and you can dine in both of them once each, or if you want to dine in one of them twice, then you can. If you want to dine a second time, it's only $25 for a 3-course meal. Your drinks are included because it's all inclusive anyway, so very affordable if you did want to go to the restaurants more than once or twice. We've got a LMS spa on property. We've got a really well-equipped gym, sports on the being motorised, but we've got a great selection. It really is a great beach to go snorkeling with the kids. And close by is our running track, the Garrison Savannah, which is across the road. So if you're there during horse racing season, you can just go across and watch the horse races on a Saturday. Again, really good day out. It's something a bit different to do when you're in the Caribbean as well. We've got 2 pools on property. The main is a pool bar as well. And great property for families. One of our biggest selling points is that we have a creche which take babies from 2 months to 4 years free of charge all day long, from 9 a.m. through to 9 p.m. every single day, and that's included in the rate. Toddlers stay free, and first child to age 16 stay free in the rates as well. So excellent family value. For any of you that book weddings, we are very, very popular property for weddings. I think a lot of all inclusives in the Caribbean do really, really well with weddings. We tend to not do any more than 1 a day. It would only be things like Valentine's Day where we may stretch to 2, several wedding locations and wedding packages, so contact me if you wanted any information on those. And that in a nutshell is Sugar Bay. How am I doing on time, Sarah? Okay? Not telling me off yet? So we're going to move on to... Okay, good. So I'm going to move through to Bougainvillea quickly, the sister property. Again, as I mentioned, it is beachfront, and it's located closer to the airport, just kind of between the village of Oistins, where you have the famous fish fry on a Friday night, and St. Lawrence Gap kind of area. But you're not in St. Lawrence Gap, although you can physically walk to it. You're in a nice kind of quiet stretch. We actually have 2 beaches in front of the property. I wanted to show this photograph because the 2 buildings that you see on the right-hand side there have been demolished. I don't have an updated aerial shot, but those used to be our lead-in rooms. And some of you that have been selling Barbados for many years would know that property. It was previously called Sand Acres. Bougainvillea is essentially the 100 rooms you see to the left of the dot. And whilst we've been closed, we have removed those 2 buildings to the right. Watch this space on what is going to be done on that side of the property, but for now it's been cleared. The pool and the restaurant you see there are still there. The beach is still open. So when we do reopen, guests will still have access to the entire property. It's 100 rooms in total, and as I mentioned, all of the rooms have self-catering facilities. So if you have clients who are worried about, going into lots of common areas, going to restaurants, etc., you do have the choice of going completely self-catering at Bougainvillea, so a great selling point. This is a typical junior suite. We have a kitchenette here. All of the rooms have balconies to the front of the property, and all of the balconies overlook the pool and out to the ocean. The larger rooms, the 1 and the 2 bedroom suites, then have full separate living and dining space. and a full kitchen and a private bedroom. All of the sofas are pull-out beds, so in a one-bedroom suite you can accommodate a family of 4. We recently upgraded the bathrooms last year, completely gutted them, took out all of the baths, only showers there now, and we have the White Company amenities in all of those rooms. There are 2 restaurants on property. We've got the Thai restaurant Siam, which is open for dinner, and it's got a lovely kind of cocktail bar there as well, overlooking the ocean. And during the day, Calabash Cafe is our main beachside dining, which has interior dining as well as casual deckside dining. So you literally just hop from your lounger to grab a bite for lunch. Afternoon tea is served, and dinner. Both properties also have regular entertainment throughout the week if you decide not to go out and about in the evening. We added a spa into the property last year as well, so we reconfigured a certain part of the property, extended the gym, and we have a water sports hub on the beach, and that does have some motorised water sports. There's a bit more of a wave at this side of the island, so anybody who likes to windsurf, do a bit of boogie boarding, that's all as well. And our beaches, you know, we're all kind of craving getting back to the Caribbean to get our toes in the sand and dip our feet in the water, and we've got 2 fabulous beaches in front of us. 3 pools on property, a child's wade-in pool as well as an adults-only pool, which you see here with a summer pool bar. And for families, all children up to 15 stay free year-round. So again, great family value. And as you can see, I'm not lying, kids really enjoy the property. This is a picture that I took off TripAdvisor. And that's it for me basically. Here's my contact details again, so just reach out to me. I'm here to assist, help, or if you want any destination updates or information, just feel free to reach out to me at any time. Stay safe everybody, and thank you very much for your time, and I hope you get out to enjoy some of this gorgeous weather we're having this afternoon.
Thank you very much, Gemma, that was brilliant. Just two things that that I noted from that. One was the creche facility. There's very, very few hotels in the world that have the creche facilities from 2 months that's free. So that's one certainly to note. So thank you for that. That's something that I'm sure we'll all remember. Denise, are you ready?
I am ready. Shall I just...
Oh, perfect. Sorry, I apologise earlier because I did have a baby bat that's just flown into my apartment, and then the cats tried to eat it and knocked my Wi-Fi off. So that's, sorry, why I disappeared.
Right. Can you see my screen?
I can. Right. There's no music, just you.
Lovely. Apologies, everybody, for the earlier technical glitch, but we're all sorted. I've recognised quite a few of the names on the list of participants today. Those of you that I haven't met before, I'm Denise from Sunrise Marketing. We have a portfolio of independently owned properties. They're the smaller boutique style properties in the Caribbean, and we also have within our inspirational collection that's part of that Sweetfield manor. So just to give you a quick insight into the property, this is the smallest, I believe, somebody I'm sure will correct me, the smallest but also the oldest of the properties on the island. We're actually just 10 rooms, launched to the market about 18 months ago, and Pavao, the restaurant at the hotel, was actually launched just before Christmas last year, known for fine dining on the south coast of Barbados. Now, Pavao and basically the hotel is only 5 minutes from the beach. So the first thing I need to flag to you is we are not a beachfront property. We are more historical. It is more sort of like boutique, as I say, chic feel. You can see some of the rooms that are flicking through now. We have suites in the main building. We have a spa on property, which offers different services people can do around the property. We have a small pool again. We're 10 rooms. You can see the restaurant, etc. clicking through. It is fine dining. It is all tailor-made. It is all bespoke. We also have, and I want to keep this slide up a bit, we also have quite a few resident peacocks. Actually, we have, I believe, on last count, about 24 resident peacocks. We also have monkeys that come in. So we are set up on the hillside. For those of you who know Barbados and know where the Garrison Savannah is, or where the Hilton and the Radisson are, and the beaches just next to them, that is our view. That's what we overlook. And those are the beaches that we would transfer people down to on a complimentary basis every day. As I say, it takes about 5 minutes. Drove it when I was last there. But when you're having your breakfast on the patio in the morning, because we do serve breakfast for in-house guests in a different location to Preval, out on the patio, you will have the peacocks coming to show off and show you their tail feathers and join you and make sure you're awake and squawk at you. We do have a 6-course gourmet breakfast that is for our UK guests if they want to enjoy that while they're with us. The property is very well known on the island, certainly for events, in particular weddings, as you can imagine, with just 10 rooms, with a beautiful deck with a view out over the ocean, with the pool, all the different sort of private spots. It's a perfect setting for weddings or honeymoons. We do find as well that we have quite a few bookouts, basically, where families, multi-generational families will come and buy out the whole place and spend time together. So I'm flagging that because if people are looking for something that's isolated, secluded at the moment, they all want to sort of regroup and get back together, but not in a larger property. Keep us in mind, as I say, maximum 10 rooms. I'm not going to go through all the room categories because they do vary, they're quite different, but you can get access through our handbook and through our website for all the details on those. Everyone's touched on COVID. I don't want to talk doom and gloom either. Gemma's actually updated you with the flights. The hotel is not planning to open at this time before the 1st of October. As I'm sure you can appreciate, with one flight going in, we're going to be limited as to who or how many people are going to get to the island. That is subject to change. If we get more airlift and things do shift and we get the government updates, we may open sooner, but at this point we are looking at the 1st of October for Sweetfield. What I'd also like to flag to you is what we've seen coming in the way of bookings. We have had quite a few 7-night breaks where people have wanted to just come and switch off, something a bit different, a bit more historical in the plantation style property. But we do get a lot of people that are also pre or post cruise, because we don't have a minimum stay. We're 5 minutes from Bridgetown, so people can do their shopping, they can connect to the cruise ships, etc. easily. So we've had quite a few pre and post cruise. And also if people are either wanting to spend a couple of nights on the south coast and then go up to the west coast, or change it up a bit when they're on the island, then Sweetfield offers them something a little boutique, a little bespoke, and then they can go off and spend time at a beach property. In terms of the F&B, please note we do have a breakfast plan, and we also have half board. We don't currently have an all-inclusive meal plan, but it's something that we're working on. I'm conscious of time, so I just want to flag to you that, as well as the partner pages, the login on our website, we are now running our Inspirational Insights Facebook group. If you're not yet a member, although I know I recognise a lot of the names on the list, if you're not yet a member, please join it. It is directly focused at just yourselves, salespeople, front end, and we are keeping you updated with insights, sales insights on all the properties. We've been doing some competitions on there, and we'll be doing more training if it's of interest. And also, please keep in mind our personal touch. So if you make a booking to any of the properties, you have a menu of gifts you can choose from to leave in the client's room on arrival with a personal handwritten note from you. So if you have any questions, I'd love to answer them. Please, as I say, keep us in mind, something a little bit different. We have the history side, we're a plantation style property, and just small boutique 10 rooms. Thank you. Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you, Denise. Wow, lovely little property. That's my sort of place. So thank you very much. As well, just to sort of as a recap, don't forget, every single Caribbean booking you make, any destination, any hotel, you can log it on mycaribbeanrewards.co.uk, and every single week somebody will win £50. So I do the spin to win and I put it on Facebook. So keep logging your bookings. Also, anybody that's needing a one of the MasterCards. If you haven't got one, then this is something that we're going to do a campaign for in July. So we're going to be sending out some cards. You just need to be, when we send the email out to you, just need to reply back to it, say you want a card, and we'll get them sent over for you. So we have got a couple of questions. It's the same question from Jen and from Natalie. Conrad, this one's for you. They've both asked, is Calabash Cove adult only?
Sorry, unmute. Now you can hear me, I think.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We're adults only. We take young adults from age 16, but we don't take for the last 5 years any longer small children.
Okay, perfect. So over 16.
Yes.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. And other than all the chat options that have been flying around, which you've all seen, I don't think there was any other questions. We've been asked a couple of times for the videos, which I will put onto Facebook. Lauren was asked for your video, so I'm going to put it onto Facebook with a YouTube link. Of course, you've got everybody's details. So if you do want anything else from any of the panelists that are here, please write to them. Please let them know that you was on the call. But for me and for everybody, we just want to say thank you for coming on and for listening to us. And we'll see you next week at next week's Caribbean Corner. So thank you, and thanks to all the panelists.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks, Sarah.
Bye. Thank you.
Good week. Enjoy the sun.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.